Two things I can take away from these past two episodes. One, the theme is definitely sibling rivalry. And two, Jason's really stepped into it this time. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys my review on the past two episodes of Titan Season 3. I decided to wait and save these two since some people already got to see the first five. I decided to wait it out and save these two and review them at the same time. And I'm glad I did because, for one, like I said, sibling rivalry is definitely shown here between Starfire Blackfire and no doubt going in with Nightwing and Red Hood going forward. But also, like I said, episode 5 gave us the origin of how Jason came to be the Red Hood. And I must say, it takes influence from the comics, but at the same time introduces their own sort of theme to it, which is very creative, I might add. But come on, I mean, Jason, I know you're impulsive, but were you really this impulsive to really do that? Oh boy. But then again, let's not forget, for anybody who has been reading the comics and keeping up with Jason in the comic universe, he's done some pretty impulsive stuff. And you can probably say some of the stuff in the comics are in the degree and what he did in this episode, episode 5, this past week, along with his usual things in episode 4. But that one was really about Starfire and Blackfire, which, by the way, we're about to get into all this. I just wanted to give you guys my overall thoughts on everything that happened here, especially with Jason, and just makes you wonder, how are they going to fix this thing going forward? Because I'm starting to think that, whoa, for one, yeah, Jason needs help, and I hope he's able to get it. And two, what is going to become with Starfire and Blackfire? I have no idea. But now, having said all that, let's go ahead and break this down. But I'm going to start with the short thing, and that is in the fact in how the Titans were dealing with Hank's death. And no surprise, you know, when you lose somebody to murder, especially when you're close to them, you all feel like you're responsible. You got Connor blaming himself and thinking Superman would never let this happen. He would always save everyone, which no, Connor, even Superman fails sometimes. Not all these heroes can save everyone. Sad but true. And yes, you even got Dawn, who blames herself because she pulled the trigger that Jason tricked her into pulling. So yeah, you can definitely feel people are grieving and they're taking it out on people, or this or that or this. But no surprise, this made Dawn decide to quit being Dove for a while and just decide to go back home to Paris. I believe that's where she said she was from. And she leaves a note saying that Nightwing should give up being Nightwing, just like how Batman has supposedly given up being Batman. But as we all know, that's not the case, because going into episode 4, that's what it was with Nightwing. He was telling people, yeah, he's gonna quit, but nope. Wasn't the case. And being the smart person that he is, because trained by Batman and everything, he knew very well, just like we all suspected, Red Hood has been working with John Kane all along. And yeah, we even see here that Grayson's pissed. He's pissed at Jason for what he did to Hank, that he's even saying that he's made his own choices, and he's right. But at the same time, Jason's choices were, while they were his own, and based on his impulsiveness and stuff, at the same time, they were influenced by decisions by some, you could say, a little on the Titans' part, but it's mostly because of Bruce Wayne. Why do I say that? Well, because in the origin that we're getting for Red Hood in episode 5, that's what really details it into us. But before I get into that, let's go ahead real quick and talk about Starfire and this whole sibling rivalry she has with her sister Blackfire. Now, first off, you guys remember those visions? Well, it turns out they were pretty much what you could call a sight-sharing sort of vision. Wherever Blackfire was, she was transmitting that to Starfire and stuff, that it was causing her to even have sleepwalking problems, that she even attacked Beast Boy. Yet, luckily, Beast Boy being able to see what's going on, betterment, because must I even say that this Beast Boy seriously shows the smart side of Beast Boy that he only really shows from time to time, especially when you consider the Teen Titans TV series back in the early 2000s, how he acts pretty dumb and he doesn't really use his brain much, but he's smarter than he looks. So it's good on that end. But it still isn't in the fact that it turns out after Blackfire had came to Earth, she was captured by the government. But Starfire found out where she was thanks to their little sight sharing session. And this is where we learn that these two just got some typical rivalry of siblings and stuff. And the sort of similarity of, if any of y'all have ever watched it, the series of the Sweet Life series of Zach and Cody and whatnot, and how they have always had it out for each other, but deep down they're always jealous of the other. Stuff like that. And that's exactly what we get here with Blackfire and Starfire. And it gets to the point where Starfire was at first going to leave her captured in that government facility she was captured in. But then she's like, for once I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try to be a good sister and whatnot, considering Blackfire says I've never been a good sister. I've never stood up for her and stuff. While she has also been saying that Blackfire's deserved what she has gotten to her and stuff. It's that basic sort of sibling sort of thing. And basically she's trying something new to show that maybe we can be better sisters and stuff. I don't know if I see that happening. I mean, it's clear they're going to be staying together, working together, or supposedly an uneasy alliance or truce, as it were. But something tells me it's going to get to the point where Blackfire is going to leave her and the Titans, and actually might work with Red Hood, if not work with him and Scarecrow. But now, having said all that, let's hurry up and get in this with Jason Todd and his whole Red Hood origin story. So one of the things I loved about this is that we finally got to see the dynamics between Bruce and Jason in this, and we got to see their relationship and stuff. Now, Bruce, as we always know, he wants to try to do the best he can for his wards, his proteges, his apprentices, sidekicks, etc., etc. But sometimes the direction he goes, while he may think it might be best, and maybe it does, sometimes it doesn't work out as well as he would expect. But that's still not to say that sometimes maybe he should try to think of other possibilities and stuff, because sometimes the results of his decision are already getting shown to him, but he kind of wants us to think in the long term they'll figure it out. But with Jason, in this case, no, that's not how it works with this kid, because it turns out that ever since the whole Deathstroke thing, he's been having trouble with PTSD and all this fear, and he hates it and he wants it gone. So what does Bruce decide to do? First off, he decides to make him have a therapy session with his good friend, the one and only Leslie Tompkins. That's right, guys, we are introduced to Leslie Tompkins in this Titans universe. And yeah, must I say, I like the person who played her character in the way of how she's being a psychiatrist, and in the fact that how she actually has history with Dr. Crane, aka the Scarecrow and stuff. And she actually talks about who he was before he was Scarecrow, and how she found out what he did as Scarecrow. And yeah, it put her in a bad spot too. You can kind of say that's what inspired Jason to speak to her more. Unfortunately, though, during those sessions, Batman was somehow spying on it, that he was using that as the best way to better understand Jason, and that just wasn't working out so well. Because here's the thing, just like what led to Jason's death, he prevented him from being Robin. And what he just didn't get is that Jason is tired of all the fear, and he feels that being Robin makes him different, makes him feel better and stuff. And what really hurt Jason more is that, first off, he was very happy and pleased that Bruce called him son, and he was actually looking at Bruce as a father. But the way Bruce delivered it, mind you, it was in a way where he's doing what he thinks is best. And I would have to agree with him on some scales, but at the same time, he didn't put effort into trying to make Jason understand, because remember how impulsive Jason is. When he was figuring out that Bruce had been listening in on his conversations with Tompkins, he gets all mad and stuff about it, that he goes into his impulsive assumption mode, thinking that Bruce thinks he's weak, this and that and this. In other words, all his insecurity, and he's throwing it all on Bruce like that. Kind of like Usopp did with Luffy when it came to the going merry and everything, and about his usefulness in the crew and stuff. And this is what it ended up leading to him doing what? But going to Dr. Crane, aka Scarecrow, believing Scarecrow, since he made fear gas, he can make an anti-fear gas, which would make him be not be afraid, be fearless, as it were, and be able to take on anything without any worries whatsoever. And I was just like saying to myself, Jason, come on, man. You really think you can trust this guy? Even more, you say you just want the serum, you'll give him anything? Even the identity of Nightwing, of Batman, everything? Are you crazy? Oh my God. I was just so like, come on, Jason, you're smarter than this. Or at least sometimes I want to believe so. But hey, he's always been like this and stuff. It's just I never thought it would go this far. He always kept Batman's secret close to his heart, no matter what, for anyone else. He would never tell anyone that, but he does it with this guy. And as we saw, I think, as we found out, just like I suspected when I saw the first 3 episodes, yes, that thing he had that he was breathing in is something he was working with Crane on. It was supposedly anti-fear serum that makes him fearless. Yet I think instead it makes Crane control Jason Todd. Why do I say that? Because here's the thing: when it was found out Joker killed Jason, Crane was all happy and smiles. It's almost like he knew that was going to happen, as if, especially when he said, let's test my serum on his big enemy, Joker. And ever since then, even when you look back on when he contacted Hank before he put that bomb in him, he sounded like he was afraid. And that really didn't feel like an act. That felt like he was real. Like a part of him knows he screwed up and he wants to get free. Well, that's where I'll say that for now, no one except one person might believe him with that. And who is that? A good friend of his named Molly, who at the end of episode 5, he returns a kid who was missing from an orphanage that Molly works for, and Molly's a good friend of his. And she can tell right off the bat that there's something wrong with Jason and he needs help, and she will always help him and she won't give up on him, kind of like how Alfred has always been with Bruce. Well, that's where I'll say that I believe this girl is going to play a major role going forward in helping the Titans realize that Jason can still be safe, because I truly do believe that he's being controlled by Crane here, and that some part of him has realized this and is trying to get the Titans help. But for now, the Titans, especially Nightwing, isn't going to believe that. He's going to believe Jason is really gone and that they just need to stop him once and for all. And that's where I'm believing Molly will jump in and make him have more hope, and hopefully get Jason maybe not to be a hero, but be an anti-hero going forward instead of the straight up villain that he's being portrayed to be right now. But now, having said all that, I will say that these first 5 episodes really have got me pumped for season 3 and to what's going forward going in, because now that we've done episodes 5, we're going to episode 6 and so on and so forth. What more can we expect with the last few episodes we have here? Because we have 8 episodes left. There's 13 in this season. So only one can wonder. All we gotta have to do is wait and see. All I know is sibling rivalry between Nightwing, Red Hood, Starfire, Blackfire are playing center stage in all this, and we will see how things go from there. But until then, guys, I'm gonna leave it all at that. And hey, if you're enjoying my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!